What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about the downfall of dealerships. And it's not even what you're thinking. Now, we know the current state of the automotive market is an absolute nightmare. We've seen how the economy is starting to turn. We're seeing new car sales go down by 38% as of this month. Used car sales are down 34%. But the big thing that I worry about is what's called application count. These are all the people that are applying for cars that are not getting approved, whatever else. Application counts are down anywhere from 40 to 50% depending on which state you're in. And that is a truly scary number. Now, there's several reasons for that, which is going to lead into something much bigger. Now, as we know, interest rates are going up, so unfortunately, the affordability of cars is just not there. As the credit news starts tightening, we've talked about how record high default rates and people being late on their cars is causing banks to rethink the no look, don't ask questions auto loans. And so now this is putting a further constriction on the market. We know that demand is slowly dwindling, but this just expedites it that much further. And add injury to insult, a lot of these franchise stores now finally have inventory on their lots where they can sell, but they're still selling them for way over MSRP. Some are starting to retract this to sell it at MSRP, which is a good sign. The reason I wanted to recap the economy is because back in 2019, dealerships were doing okay, the market was stable, but they were being purchased by large automotive groups. Now, these automotive groups collectively own over 16,000 dealerships across the United States. We're talking about AutoNation, Lithia Motors, Group 1 Automotive, Sonic Auto Group, Penske, Ashburn Automotive, and there's a bunch of little ones. But just these ones here own 16,000 dealerships, which is insane. Now, fast forward to today, the reason why I'm bringing up the economy is because as the market starts to go down, these dealers are not going to be profitable. Now, during the pandemic, dealers were making record amounts of money because they were selling cars way over LTV because the banks were just lending out crazy amounts of money. Dealerships were making record profits on top of that because they were selling cars way over MSRP, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. So franchise stores were in a great place. They were making all this money. Now, as we see the market start to slow down, dealerships are not seeing the crazy profits. The easy sales have gone away. Now the banks are stopping the lend. And then on top of that, throw in the compounding interest that they're paying on their flooring lines. And not only is their flooring lines increasing in interest, some are getting their amounts actually cut in half, or their lines of credit being cut completely, and then they're left to fend for themselves to try to come up with $5, $6, $7 million to pay off their flooring lines, to go buy more inventory, or to go get another flooring line somewhere else. And so nobody wants to get a high interest loan during a time when high interest is at its peak and there's no other competitors to give you lower interest rates. Competition is healthy, and that's going to be the theme of this video. So now that these dealers have nowhere to go for their flooring lines, they're going to have to come out with the capital to pay these things down. And so some of these franchise stores are going to start to financially struggle. This is where these large automotive groups are going to come in and start buying these cars. Now, I know you guys are thinking, oh, it's great. Dealerships need to go out of business. These guys need to go out of business. Once again, I'm going to say competition is healthy. Let's say you're in a small town and your dealership is owned by Bob Smith Motors. So let's say Bob Smith's been in your community for the last 50 years. His father started the dealership, he's took it over. It's a family-owned business. There's family ties to the community. They actually care about their name and trying to take care of people and build some sort of rapport with the community. Now, let's say AutoNation, all these other auto groups, Penske, Sonic Auto Group, start purchasing all these small Bob Smith dealerships. Now, people are thinking, oh, that's great. Now we're going to get these small town guys out of here. No more crooked small town dealers. And once again, competition is healthy. So just picture this. You can go to McDonald's anywhere across the United States and get a burger and fries for $10. Nothing fancy, just a burger, okay. You know what it tastes like, the same way it tastes in Kentucky, the same way it tastes in Las Vegas, and all the way up into Alaska. But every small town or city has that one poppin' burger place, the mom and pop's restaurant that has the awesome burger, the amazing fries, the awesome chocolate shake for the exact same price. And so these companies usually thrive on the fact that it's reputation. They have a small town following, people love them. It's almost like a cult-like following. So no matter how big the franchise stores get, these little mom and pop restaurants seem to exist. You gotta remember, rewind about 20, 30 years, everywhere there was a small mom and pop's burger place. There was something like that before McDonald's started buying up all the markets and slowly squeezing these people out. And what's going to happen is when everybody thinks that it's great that all these small town dealers are going out of business and all the names, maybe you hate Bob Smith, he sold your grandfather a car and you guys cursed his name. Well, now you're turning into these corporate zombie stores almost like CarMax, where if you go in there and you want to negotiate, hey, you know what? I see this car you have. There's one just like it across the street for $3,000 less, but it's black. I really like blue, and yours is blue. Can you match their price? Everybody knows what happens when you ask CarMax to lower their price. They say no. What's happening with a lot of these corporate stores? They're going to the no haggle price because they don't want to hire salesmen. They don't want to hire finance managers. They don't want to hire people that are intelligent that can go out and sell cars. They want to just hire people they can hire for $9 an hour, pay them as bare minimum as they possibly can, and almost make this like a cookie cutter thing where you're selling TVs at Best Buy. So now you go to AutoNation, which maybe bought, like here in Vegas, owns a lot of stores. And anytime I try to do a deal, they don't budge. No, this is what we want, take it or leave it. You know, okay, well, I got my own bank financing. Oh, well, we still want to run your credit because that's part of our corporate policy. At the end of the day, when you're dealing with some of these independent franchise stores, you're dealing with a lot of just regular people. So you can talk to them. Sometimes you can negotiate it, work a better deal. Anytime I do something with corporate stores, like I'm personally going out buying a car, which I just drove back from Oregon, and it was a nightmare. I called a lot of, anytime they said they were a major automotive corporation, I just walked away. If they were small, like Bob Smith Motors, Chevy dealership, or Ford, I would talk to them. I would get further up the chain. I'd be able to get better prices, and I'd be able to negotiate. All these corporate stores don't want to negotiate. They want it cookie cutter pricing, and that's it. The only way you're going to get a discount is after it's been on their lot forever and it starts to go down. Now, people keep asking me, well, Lucky, why don't the prices go down in cars? Well, these large automotive groups have thousands of cars all across the United States, and they have multi-million-dollar fundings behind them. So now that they have these funds behind them, they're not pressured like a small Bob Smith franchise store to liquidate their inventory. They can sit on that shit forever because they don't care. They know that there's somebody that's stupid enough that they could stuff into that car, and that's what they're going to do. So every time you guys start, wondering why aren't the dealers sharing their prices or lowering their prices, go ahead and look at them. Say, hey, are you guys an AutoNation store, Penske? What automotive group are you in? And I guarantee you all the high prices you see in your area are guaranteed going to be with these large automotive groups because, like I said, they're doing the no haggle price. They don't want to lower their prices. And like I said, they have the banks to push the financing. Since they're so big and they own 16,000 stores, they can basically tell the banks, hey, if you still want to be a captive lender of ours, you're going to have to eat stuff at 150, 160% of LTV, bail us out of our bad problem. And that's the problem where Bob Smith Motors maybe can push the banks to do 140, 150. These guys can go way overboard and get even more. So that's why I'm telling people that the death of dealerships is not going to be a good thing. Competition is healthy. We want the people where AutoNation's saying, hey, we want $70,000 for this car. And then Bob Smith Motors is like, hey, I'll take 65. I want to earn your business. I want you to bring your family in. Now, I know people look at dealerships as something as a bunch of jerks, assholes, con artists, whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, it's business and it's all about relationships. There are good dealers out there. And so every time I see a mom and pop's business, like everybody says, pro small business, every time they fire these people, they literally lose half of their staff because they go to the skeleton crew because they don't want the expensive, knowledgeable techs. They want to get the guys right out of school, lower their overhead. They don't want the really good sales manager that can negotiate with people, work better deals, call the banks for favors. They don't want that. It's all cookie cutter. You literally give your app to somebody that just pencils it in, and then they just wait in front of a computer and pray to God that the Wheel of Fortune machine will tell them, hey, you know what, you've been approved, congratulations. Where if you go to some of these small mom and pop franchises, they're on the phones, they're calling the banks, they're trying to get something done. All these new corporate stores, the human part of our business is gone. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, I just don't want to do with the no haggle thing. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, you want to haggle with dealerships because then you have some sort of negotiating. You want to be able to negotiate, bottom line. You don't want to be able to be stuck with a high price and left with it. So, but anyways, I would love to know your opinions about what you think is going on in the automotive industry. What do you feel about dealer groups purchasing independents and franchise stores in some of the automotive groups? Because as we start to see people like Carvana struggle. CarMax is probably going to outlive it all because they got so much money. Companies like American Car Centers and stuff like that, they're all going out of business. And as these banks start to tighten up lending, where is this going to leave traditional, independent, and franchise stores? They're probably going to be running out of money, and they're going to be purchased by these auto groups, and it's just going to spell doom and gloom for the automotive industry. But anyways, once again, chime in the comment section below what you think and what your opinion is. And even if your opinion is different from mine, that's okay. We could still be friends, but your opinion matters. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.